No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of the season premiere of Friday Night Smackdown for October the 7th, 2022. Shout out to the early birds: Lee Samples, Jacob Alfred, Shanti, Greg, Randy, and of course, Walter Cruz, who sent in $2. Thank you, Walter. Says, say yes to no DQ, like, share, hashtag, stick to my shtick. All right, let's get right into the SmackDown recap. Extreme Rules, 24 hours away, less than now. We had the game, Triple H in the ring to kick us off. He said, just when you think that everything is finished, it's actually only the beginning. And as he was doing this brief introduction, he had a microphone with a QR code. That code went to another video on WWE.com, the three little pigs, and this voice that kept saying, "Let me in," repeatedly. Pretty obvious who it is. Doubt it's anybody else. Michael Wayne. Happy birthday, man. Hope you have a great one. We had Roman Reigns and the Bloodline all together come into the ring for the opening promo segment. Michael Cole, or Mitchell Cole, as Jargo says, introduced Wade Barrett, who is now part of the SmackDown commentary team, at least for now, until Pat McAfee comes back after football season ends. You had Roman Reigns doing his acknowledge me opening line, but then he was quickly interrupted by Logan Paul, his challenger for Crown Jewel. Logan Paul got booed quite hard. Worcester, Massachusetts did not care for him whatsoever. They were chanting, "Logan sucks." Roman Reigns invited him in the ring, said that they chanted that he sucked back in the day, but now Roman Reigns said he is the greatest of all time. Paul Heyman then asked, who in the hell is Logan Paul? Heyman said that Logan is this generation's Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper. Said that Logan Paul will bring new eyeballs to the WWE product. However, those new eyeballs will watch Logan get smashed by the tribal chief Roman Reigns. And then Logan responded by asking if he would be smashed by Reigns or the right-hand man, Jey Uso. And by the way, the crowd was also chanting "what" at Logan Paul. You had Jey Uso getting angry. Crowd was chanting Usos. Sami Zayn was the peacemaker here. He calmed things down, said that Reigns will prevail at Crown Jewel, and then the Bloodline will be stronger than ever after the Premium Live event. Segment was all right, but I thought like it dragged just a little bit, especially Paul Heyman. And I usually love Paul Heyman promos, but I felt like he was rambling a bit. And I feel like this segment, yeah, it's important to set up Crown Jewel, but felt like it really did not add much to the storyline between these guys. It was okay. I think Sami Zayn probably saved the segment. And at the end, it kind of felt like it was more about Sami Zayn and Jey Uso's current storyline. Have some super chats here, so let me get to those real quick. Caleb Jacobs says, say yes to Impact Wrestling. Laughs like Beavis. No, say no to Impact. By the way, Impact Wrestling's WrestleMania Bound for Glory is on right now. Why in the hell would they put Bound for Glory up against SmackDown? What were they thinking? What were they smoking when they came up with that idea. Plus, you have Rampage. Rampage is live right now, and I'm going against what I said I was going to do. I was going to recap Rampage on the weeks that it was live, but I was like, well, bad week to be doing a live Rampage on the Extreme Rules Go Home edition of SmackDown, and they're doing Battle of the Belts, and I'm like, well, I just want to do the SmackDown review and get my rest before the show tomorrow, with all due respect to AEW. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Hamp. I appreciate it. With his little today in history, 1997, Legion of Doom defeated the Godwins to win their final tag team championship in a major company. I think that was for a taped Raw, which aired, the 13th, 14th of October, something like that. I remember they were doing this storyline where they were going to retire if they did not win the titles, and of course they did win. Unfortunately, they would lose a short time later, like a month or two later, to the New Age Outlaws, and then it was more or less the end of the road for them as a team, unfortunately. Too bad that last title run wasn't more memorable, I will say that much. Dr. Dakota Scorpio with a $2 super chat says, say no to Impact, but say yes to no DQ. Hashtag infringement. We'll definitely say no to Impact Wrestling. Caleb Jacobs sent in a $2 super chat, says, I want you to laugh like Beavis. You're going to have to do a $100 super chat if you want me to even attempt that, because I cannot do it. I am no Mike Judge. But if you send me 100, I'll give it a college try. Moving on here, we had Solo Sikoa going up against Ricochet in the opening match. Solo jumped Ricochet before the match could even get started. Ricochet fought back. Solo Sikoa slipped to the outside, was getting angry, grabbed the chair. Eventually, he was able to get the upper hand. He slowed down the pace. Ricochet was sent over to the outside of the ring, and Ricochet took a pretty nasty bump on his way to the outside. Like, he hit the back of his head on the ring apron, but it appeared that he was not hurt. He got back in, hit Solo with several kicks, and then went up top, went for the shooting star, but Solo caught him mid-move and then hit the spinning Solo to pick up the victory, the Uranagi, the spinning Solo, the spinning Solo. I'm just going to call it the Uranagi so I don't get tongue-tied. Good match. I like the finish a lot too, so thumbs up for this one. Solo Sikoa picks up a win. Bloodline was backstage, and there was definitely some tension between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. You had the New Day confronting the Usos and Sami Zayn, instigating things, and then Sami Zayn challenged New Day to go find a partner, and they would have a 6-man tag team match. We had Hit Row come into the ring, and I guess they were going to have a match. They were introduced for a match, but they were quickly jumped, ambushed by these guys in masks. And, well, we pretty much knew who they were. If you've watched NXT at all, you definitely knew who they were. And then you had B-Fab getting in the ring, but she was attacked by Zelina Vega, who is officially back on SmackDown. She was injured, out of action for a while. She is back. She went on Instagram, I think yesterday or maybe this morning, and she was asked about returning, and she said she doesn't want to spoil it. She wants people to be surprised. And then it came out that she was spotted in in that area in Massachusetts. So wasn't much of a surprise that she showed up. But she is officially representing Legado del Fantasma. They all unmasked. Santos Escobar and company. Zelina got on the mic, said she's back, but she's not alone. And she also gave the mic over to Santos Escobar. And he basically put the rest of the SmackDown roster on notice. No Elektra Lopez. They're putting Zelina Vega in that role, which, hey, she did very well with Andrade, being the manager and the mouthpiece. And Santos can talk too, but I like it. I think it's a good pairing, and we'll see how they do on the main roster. Shanti in Hawaii says aloha and say yes to no DQ. Yes. Says, Aaron, you are my savior when it comes to getting these recaps since I can't get any of the shows live here in Hawaii on streaming services. Not even Sling? Because I know with Sling, if you're on the West Coast, you can get the East Coast feed. And I would think that Sling would be available in Hawaii too. But hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And yeah, they got a lot of factions right now. You got Hit Row, Bloodline, New Day, although Big E is still out. You got Legado del Fantasma now. And we might have another 3-person group. More on that in just a few moments. I guess Sling was a problem for Shanti for whatever reason. Gamer Kyle sent in a $1.49 super sticker. Thank you for that, Gamer Kyle, or Gomer Kyle. I thought it said Gamer Kyle. Wow. Even with the glasses, I have trouble reading some of these comments. Gomer Kyle. I like it. Thank you for that. And by the way, if you guys missed the QR code, the video is over on nodq.com. You can check that out. And there was more. So they did show a commercial on SmackDown hyping up the White Rabbit's reveal. I think they should have done this on Raw. They should have done the White Rabbit song on Raw, actually show the crowd with the lights and everything. But hey, they did do something on SmackDown, hyping up the White Rabbit. And also, there was a guy dressed up in a rabbit costume. He was walking around the arena, and then he sat right behind Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, which pretty much tells you that this was purposely done. This wasn't just some random person out there in a rabbit costume, although I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be able to get into the building with that costume. It is close to Halloween, though, but I think these arenas have policies when it comes to wearing masks, you know, not COVID masks, but like Halloween masks. We had Sonya Deville and Xia Li. They got no entrances, by the way, going up against Shotzi and Raquel. Shotzi has her tank back, has Pyro to go with it, so she's getting a full-blown babyface push. And you had Xia Li providing a distraction early on. Sonya Deville got in some offense, but then Shotzi tagged in Raquel, and it was elementary at that point. Raquel hit the choke slam bomb and got the win over Sonya Deville. Basic match here, just to establish the new tag team of Shotzi and Raquel. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, I feel bad for whoever the White Rabbit is if it's not Bray. I think it's almost like the CM Punk deal from last year where they were all but confirming it. I feel like it's the same deal with Bray Wyatt. I would be shocked if it isn't Bray Wyatt. Let's just put it that way. Very shocked. Hamp Connell sent in a $20 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Much appreciated. Hamp says 2 more. He's got more this day in history. 2007, the WWE Championship is defended 3 times in one night after a John Cena injury at No Mercy. That was a hell of a pay-per-view, by the way. 2001, Gentleman Chris Adams is killed in his home in Texas. I don't remember this guy, but it says he was in WCW. I'm not too familiar with him, but I believe he had worked with Steve Austin early in Austin's career, but don't quote me on that. Maybe somebody could provide some more insight about him. I vaguely remember him in WCW. Dr. Dakota Scorpio with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, apparently Battle of the Belts is on TSN here in Canada at 9 p.m. Did not expect the special to air on TSN at all, though it could be another show. Yeah, well, I'm not Canadian, so I have no idea how that works when those shows air in Canada, but hey, check it out when you're done watching this. That's all I got to say. I should be done by the time it goes live in the US, that's for sure. Caleb Jacobs sent in a $3 super chat. Thank you for that, Caleb. Says, have you seen Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus yet? Well, that's not wrestling related, Caleb, but thank you for the super chat. No, I have not. I do not have Disney Plus. I got a trial of it to watch the Beatles Get Back documentary, and then I checked out. Now, let's get back to SmackDown. The marquee says SmackDown, so let's talk about SmackDown. We had a Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan video package to hype up their match at Extreme Rules. We had Karrion Cross with Scarlett making their entrance, but then Drew McIntyre showed up right behind Cross. McIntyre had a strap, hooked them up together, but then officials, security ran down to break it up, and that allowed Cross to get the upper hand. Cross used the strap repeatedly on Drew McIntyre, sent him into the post, and yeah, it was quite the beatdown. And I'm feeling more confident now in my prediction. Check out the predictions video if you missed it, by the way. It's up on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel and NoDQ, of course. I predicted Drew McIntyre to win. Jose Garza still thinks that Karrion Cross is going to win. He might, but typically, historically, and granted it is a different regime, but for years, the guy who gets the final upper hand right before the pay-per-view tends to lose. Now, like I said, it was like that for many years, and I think maybe somebody in WWE realized, hey, we're doing this formula too much. We got to change it up, but I still go with it. And I tend to lean towards predicting whoever gets beat down on the go-home show is the one that ends up winning at the pay-per-view. So I am sticking with Drew McIntyre to win. And plus, he's been beaten down for several weeks. So is he really going to get beaten down? He lost at Clash at the Castle, got beaten down the other week, and then got beaten down again this week. You guys really think he's losing? Unless they're planning a major character change with him, like turning him heel. And I agree with you, Jose. I agree that Karrion Cross needs the win. I am 100% with you on that, but I just have this feeling that McIntyre is winning. I want Cross to win, but I'm still picking McIntyre. I just sense that he's winning. We had a little Viking Raiders teaser. Ivar or Eric, one of them's out of action, but they're teasing their return. And there was a woman's voice who I believe was Sarah Logan's voice. I'm not positive on that, though. Sounded like her. And we saw a woman in one of their videos several weeks back, and it sure looked like Sarah Logan. So I sense that she's coming back when the Viking Raiders return, and there'll be a trio. I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of factions, and we got a lot of trios in WWE. Looks like we may have another one in the near future. We had the Usos and Sami Zayn against the New Day and their mystery partner, who turned out to be Braun Strowman. Sami Zayn, Usos, very concerned, rightfully so. This was pretty standard of a match, though. Kofi Kingston was beat down for a while. The crowd chanted, "We want Braun." And the storyline in this match, similar to recent weeks, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso having issues. Kofi Kingston was finally able to tag Strowman. The arguing continued on the outside of the ring. And Strowman went out there. Strowman tagged Xavier Woods. Strowman went to the outside, bum rushed both Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, but Jey got knocked into Michael Cole. Michael Cole got wiped out here, which was amusing, but hopefully he's okay. And then back in the ring, New Day finished off Jimmy Uso. So New Day picks up a win. This was fun. No issues here. Backstage, we had Max Dupree attacking Mansoor and the other guy. What's his name? Mansoor and Massey, whatever their names are. Mason, Mansoor, whatever. And Maxine was there. She called him Max, and he said, "Don't call me that name." He said his name is L.A. Knight. He is officially back, L.A. Knight. Quick segment here, but I like what they did here to reestablish L.A. Knight, and it felt like he got a pretty big pop. This was a hot crowd, by the way. They popped for a lot of things on this show, and they were hot for pretty much the entire thing. It seems to me like SmackDown consistently has hotter crowds than Raw. Maybe it's the 3-hour show. I don't know, but I feel like SmackDown consistently has better crowds than Raw. We had our main event of the evening, Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Sheamus getting his rematch against the champion. Both guys sent their respective teams to the back. Sheamus got the early upper hand, sent Gunther into the barricade, but then Gunther blocked the 10 beats. They traded some strikes and chops, and then Gunther got the upper hand, German suplex. Sheamus kept fighting back. Sheamus's chest was red, bleeding. Sheamus was finally able to hit the 10 beats, and he did it on each rope. He did it on that top rope, and then did the 10 beats with the middle rope, and then did the 10 beats with the bottom rope. So a total of 30 beats to Gunther. And then Sheamus hit an avalanche white noise, but Gunther kicked out. Gunther made a comeback, hit a big splash, but Sheamus kicked out. And then Sheamus put on the clover leaf, and I'm not sure if this was intentional or not. It probably was, but it looked like Gunther tapped out. He was reaching for the ropes, and it kind of looked like he was making a tapping motion. So much so that the crowd thought he tapped out, but the referee was like, no, not a tap out. And the crowd was pissed. They were chanting, "You tapped out." Felt like this was done to make Sheamus look strong in defeat, and it could be argued that he had the match won. So it was a nice idea. I liked what they did here. And then you had the interference. You had Imperium running down. Brawling Brutes ran down to make the save, but then Kaiser threw the shillelagh into the ring or handed it to Gunther, and then Gunther used it on Sheamus when the referee was distracted by all the craziness, and Gunther scored the 1-2-3 victory. So no Grand Slam championship for Sheamus just yet. And Walter, I want to put up your comments, but you gotta work on those typos, my man. So good main event here. I know some people were disappointed with Sheamus not winning, but I think Gunther needs to stay champion for a while and build somebody else up to take the title. Although Sheamus is red hot right now. We got the 6-man tag team match. I'm sticking with my prediction. Brawling Brutes will get a little bit of redemption and will pick up the win at Extreme Rules. And that was it for SmackDown. Very good show this week. Was not blown away by the opening segment. And we did not get the Sheamus win. But all in all, very enjoyable show. I felt like it flew by pretty quickly. Did not drag. Good build up for the pay-per-view. Tease some things for the future. I'm giving it a B+. Very entertaining show overall. I would recommend. It was an easy watch for 2 hours. And yeah, good stuff here. Nice season premiere, Triple H. And that's it for SmackDown, everybody. I will be back after the pay-per-view Extreme Rules Saturday night to recap the show. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com. I will be doing live play-by-play results coverage on the site. You can check out all the updates right now, all the White Rabbit teasers up on NoDQ.com. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Extreme Rules. Enjoy professional wrestling, which Michael Cole said on SmackDown, and he name-dropped PWG again. It's still surreal to me that Michael Cole is saying PWG. I just never would have ever predicted that. But it is a new era. Take care, everybody. Have a great one. And remember, say yes to NoDQ.com. I guess now that it's over, go ahead, say yes to Impact Wrestling. Check it out. Take care, everybody. See you next time.